Welcome, welcome. I am so tired. I'm so tired. And you know what's funny? I'm not sure if I went out of the house. Did I go out of the house? Was I out of the house tonight? Oh, I went shopping. But did I go shopping with this? You see, I don't even remember. I didn't notice. I didn't notice at all. I wasn't even thinking. I'm very tired, but I'm very happy with the results. We are definitely working in a 6 world. Our 2 worlds are put together, 6 and 9, and how that works with 6 and 9 is we're using the rule of blackjack now. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but blackjack, the full count is 102, and the short count of blackjack, which is the original count with all 10s equaling to 10, and the ace valued at only 1 unless you choose it to be 11, and when you choose it as 11 it makes 102. So this is what we're going to start out with. This world was sort of like, it's hard to exactly explain it, but this part here, this part here, this part here, and this part here, this is an east-west. Okay, this and this is an add-on. Okay, it closes in the other worlds inside. But this is not even the center. This is the center of the center. This, what you see here, is just the X over here. This is the energy from the north and the south, the angels. Man goes east-west. You see, when we talk, there's only 1 point, but there's 2 in the east-west and 1 point, 121. The reason for the Illuminati choosing 121 days of the year, because it's also 11/11. If you choose it this way, then you'd be going up. These are your digital dots. Another thing I was going to show you, I'm just going to be a little bit all over the place because I'm really tired, you know, and I shouldn't be doing this, is this over here. See this over here? It's a 5 and a 2 and a 5 and a 2. Well, take a look. It's a Y and then an upside down Y. Y and sometimes Y. This Y goes between Z and A. Okay. This is an I and an I because this is the 3rd level, 1, 4, and 7. And this one is 9, 6, and then the 3rd level. You can't go more than 2 levels. Man can't go more than 2 levels. He just can't. He can't. He can't. He can't. He just can't. Trust me, he can't. The only time man can go to a 3rd level is when he comes to create with his mind here on earth, whatever he does here. That is man's creation. Man's value is what he does with his mind. We are in a game like Atari game or Nintendo or Wii board or whatever it is. The game doesn't know if you're disability. The game doesn't know what color your skin is. Well, it's the same thing for this matrix system. Other than, okay, the game does know coordinates, numbers, and dots. The game does know where the colors go. So whatever you are and whatever color it is, that's what will go with it. That makes the difference in the change when there's a color change. Have you ever seen a very dark-skinned man want to sit in the sun to get a tan? How do you sit in the sun to get tan? This is what tan is. This is what he looks like now. He wants to get tan in the sun. I look like this. I'm trying to get like this. I'm trying to get more soul. When they say they're the soul brothers, my friends, they are the soul brothers. I see it in the numbers. They just are. It is what it is. It was made up to be of a bunch of everything that I see, okay, the way I vision it. But it is that way because in order to be that way, it came from a way that it already was. That's why everything starts, okay, after actually Omega, because you're not born before. You get nothing, okay, until you get to be Sweet 16. because that's when you get your S, okay, spirit, and W, 23rd letter, to come into the world and have your 91. That's your period. So the reason for that is omega. So God actually goes up from A to M, and then he starts off at M, because M ends the first part of the 13 letters of the first part of the alphabet, and then he starts at M. The 13th letter, N. The 14th letter, O. The 15th letter. Ring a bell? Pi, 3.1415. That's the order of those letters, my friends. It's all from creation. And as the letters go down the line, you keep creating between them. Hop over one, then jump back to where you are and look in between, because that's what's there. So every time you hop over one number and then counteract and look back at it. Or take the middle number and throw it on each side and see what it does. That's what it does. Those are the numbers. That's what it does. The other thing I wanted to talk about is I went over time again. And I mean, it seems pretty, I mean, what do the actual oceans do? Okay, to do with 96. Is it 96 knots? What is it? What is 20 knots? Because this world is 2 omega, so it's 20, which actually means 35. Okay, because that's what it means. But I did mess up, and I forgot to explain something I started to say with the sweet 16. Like I said, it's omega. Omega is 15. Okay, and 16 is the letter P. So you start, when you get the letter P, you have your spirit. So now, anyways, we're going to go back to the oceans. What do the oceans do 7.5 hours a day? Okay. No, excuse me. What do the oceans do 7.5 times 96 minutes a day? That's the formula inside metric time. Something goes, and it's almost like a balancing swing, because if you really think of it, okay, the 15 hours of omega, you always have to divide it up between day and night, because God said divide. So you divide. You take all the terminology in the Bible and you restructure it, especially that word and, A-N-D. That's a crazy word. That's an android. Because the extension of God being king, in French on the card, they call it a roi. So you would have A-N-D-R-O-I. And then he's the second corner. And each corner is valued at 2, so he's 4 delta. You have android. So don't tell me, this is a fantastic world. These planets are moving in. God is setting up his train up in the sky. I don't know what he's got planned, but whatever happens, you know God's going to be there somewhere at the end of this. I know it. I know it. I know it. He's going to be there. So no matter what we go through, I think it's time God is saying, men of freedom, take your chance now. Be wise. We are not far behind. Whatever they start, we will end. But we need man to save man. This is not God's world. This is man's world. We, some of us and only us can save ourselves. He will be there to tilt the tides. We will find out things we never figure out. Oh, today I was so lucky. You weren't lucky. It's in the system already. You have left the boundaries. And only when you leave the boundaries can you receive the message. Eve didn't leave. She also did not believe in the forbidden fruit. But it was upon the forbidden fruit that everybody started to learn both sides of the cycle. So when 7.5 goes up, 7.5 goes down. And when 7.5 goes down, 7.5 goes up. It's like a swing. It goes down. It's like the oceans. That's all it is. That's our time. And somehow it's rolling. It's rolling on stilts that dissolve with the natural elements of time, the way God created this whole thing. It works that well because we're not Okay, okay? And it doesn't matter if I'm wrong. This is a book. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think we're just floating out there really out in the real universe, like I said many times. I think it's vicious out in the real universe, okay? And there's a chance God's not alone and everybody lives in their own bubble. So, but we all live on the same system. We must all live on the same system. It is the mind, all the mind, everything of and the totality of the mind. And if you get hit in the head with a club, well, it is the club card that shows you 3 parts of who you are. That's why you only need a club and a heart, because the club shows 3 parts. And the missing part on a 4-leaf clover is the red heart in the deck of cards, because the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland was chopping off everybody's head. I don't take these things lightly, you know what I'm saying? I have fun with them, but there's so much truth inside everything, it's insane. Anyways, listen to this. Now that we're changing, okay, to metric time, and we're removing the 6th cycle, the reason to remove the 6th cycle is because on the dice, 1 and 6 makes an automatic 7 passage, okay? That's why we can get into the next 3, which then makes it 10. 3, 1, 3, 3 makes it 10. Almost like making a telephone call. Anyways, what I'm trying to explain that, now that we're, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, and we have our 7, now I'm going to do it like a real clock, okay, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what I have to do is make 10 spots to create 1 half of the day. I have to make, no, excuse me, I have to make 10 spots to either make 1 half of the day or all day. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go. So instead of having a 12-hour 2 times around, or a total of 24 hours, it's just going to go either 10 or 20. We have to readjust all the numbers. Everything must work out to 10-10, okay? That's the way it has to be. That's the way it was made. It was torn apart to be put back together, and now we have to tear it apart again so we can put it back together so we can see the actual last angle of the coming, okay? This is inside part of the wheel that we are in. 1, 2, 3 parts. That's the 3 parts that are added. This corner, this little eye over here, and this it. Remember I said you can see out the corner of my eye? Well, that's exactly where you are. When you can see that corner of your eye, you can see yourself, right? But we're here. And basically, this is the Far East, this is the Middle East. This is the Central. And this is the Far West. Anyways, so we're still basically 15 hours of Omega, which is 480 minutes and 480 minutes, real minutes of your minutes. Not my 64 minutes. This is the 96 minutes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Metric time. 90 seconds to a regular 60-second minute. Okay? And it has 64 minutes in its hour. And there's only 15 hours a day. That's it. 15 hours a day, but like I said, there's 96 minutes in an hour, okay? And there's many reasons for that. Things have got to go to 15 and 10. You ever go 5, 10 to 15 store? Well, let's put it back that way. Things are all messed up in the world right now. Not because of that, but for other reasons. I mean, a lot of times if you really want to know, what do you have on you? I have 1 and 5. So you have 6. Do you have $6 or 6 cents? Nobody told me which 0 goes where. So you all have to, you know, and I'm still working on this here. I didn't show it. This is going to make the letter N. Okay, this is the international sign. You can look at this as digital. I'm not finishing yet, but this is on one side, this is on the other. I don't know if you ever seen, have you ever seen the brown Roswell stone from 1945 and the aliens? Well, I mean, it doesn't look like this, but because of that stone, I was able to see the dimensions of what they did with the totality of that rock shape. And I'm so sure that rock, okay, melts in the hand of a Mayan. Just put it in his hand, it'll melt. It'll be like a glitch of some sort. Yeah, just like his hand. What's so hard? So anyways, now what I'm trying to calculate, okay, because we have to go to a 10-hour day, because in fact it's not actually 10, but the center of the clock and then 8 around it. There's only 8 around it. So now we would have to figure the 8 hours. We have to understand that there's not 10. I have to know why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8, but I said there has to be 10. So what has to happen? What has to happen, okay, is that because I'm running now 96 minutes, okay, there may be enough time inside the time in the 96 minutes in 8 hours to create my day. I only need 7.5. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I really mixed this up. Hold on a second. Let me show you. You start in here, okay. This is no time. Okay, in fact, it is time. You know what? Let me do it this way. My screen keeps popping up and going away. I don't know why, but anyways. Okay, this over here. So we've got 1, 2, 3. A half over here is 3.5, and a half over here is 4, and a half over here is 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. Now the question is, if I go all the way to here, I get to 8. Okay, but I don't, because you can't touch this. Okay, down here it's not there. It's not supposed to be down here, but it doesn't matter. You can leave it here because it counts for the same thing anyways. The reason for that, that's the Christ. They have to stop it. The negative comes out of here, and here is 4 and 6. So anyways, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Okay, and then you come back the other way, you have 7.5. Nobody touches the sticks, and now you have your omega day, 7.5, 7.5, around 1 clock. And that's your stop sign clock, and that's not your 12-hour clock. Everything is going to be changed. In blackjack, if it's a 4, then it's a 6. So if it's delta, the 2 world, then it's now a delta times 1.5 is 6. There's I don't know, I'm tired. Oh, here's another one. Oh my God. Now this is, I have to try and explain this. Here's 96 minutes. 1.5 times 96 minutes is 144 minutes, regular minutes. If I multiply the 144 by 0.25, the movement of the earth, it gives me the number of creation. If I move it 96 minutes, okay, of which the metric time would be 64, it would give me 24. This is the first world, which equals to the 96. This is our world, which equals to the 36. The total, the 60 seconds on the clock. This is the world we should be in right now. This is where everything is. Now you got to compare this to the Mayan time. You got to compare that to the Mayan time. And, you know, it's got to work 57.75. And the reason for that is that the 5 center, okay, and there's 8 around it, but it's not 8 because it's on one side of the 12 and one is on the other side. So it's 5 of 7 and 7 of 5. It just repeats itself because that's not the only world. There's 3 of them aligned, and then the other one that sticks out. I'm tired, my friends. That is the end of this cassette. So that's basically for the metric time. Oh my God, I made a whole design over here. Wow. 6 and 4 equals 10, which is a whole, but our clock has 120. That's 20 too much. Well, if that's 20 too much, okay, how do we correct it? And that is because the 20 is the omega and the 2 worlds, and that is your 20 too much. The other thing, what is this number over here? Oh yeah, very important number. In order to bring this to a 1010, it's 4114. 4114. Go look it up right now. Sesame Street, 4114. C, same street. Okay? I bring this to a 1010. It comes out to 62. And that is 1 times the 2 world, which is the center world, and the 6, 222. This, 6 and 9 equals 23. 3 by 23 equals 69. Spirit, angel, and man, 69. 6 and 9 is that omega beta creation. This will equal 3 if I bring it to a single digit. This one will equal 5. That's who we are. We're 52 cards and just one joker playing with the deck. And we don't know what the hell we're doing because we're in a world and everybody thinks it's all about success. Success is only measured, okay, by the basis, the laws, and the rules of life's what? Survival of all. Because when all does not survive, all will be lost. And then all will gain a very bad letter in class and get an F. So it wouldn't be just all. It would be all would fall. It would be autumn. Isn't it terrible that we have to do good things for people we don't like? No, we don't. There has to be a system. This is not going to be just a conscience world where everybody's going to be pussying around. It just doesn't work like that. It's just going to be an honest earthly system. Okay? And the money rules, they will change. And how time works, it will change. Everything will break out to be more or less like the movement of this earth, 0.25 degrees, 15 and 10. How do I know that? Because 4 quarters is $1, and 15 and 10 is a quarter, and 4 of those is $1. So it's 15 and 10. Not only that, 15 by 7 is 105, and that's the name of the game, bluff. Not only that, I can tell you 100 different things. I mean, that's all I'm doing. I've got thousands of seconds. I've got thousands of... my time has just been changed on YouTube because on my 1,000 videos, I had 300 hours that I had put into these videos. But now under the new metric time, I only have 218 hours. Isn't that great, my friends? If they're charging by the hour, we just got a deal in life. Wouldn't you like to go to metric? Hey, man, how much you charging? 38 bucks an hour. Is that a metric hour? Because if that was a metric hour, my friends, you're getting 96 minutes for the 38 bucks. You got a better buck for the bang. No wonder we've been losing our 40% for the whole part of our life. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything's got to be based on 360 degrees. Money cannot be the way it is. The profits that have happened cannot happen anymore. But you do have to understand that if somebody makes $1 billion, okay, and if they gave back $1 to every person in the world, okay, they would break even. It's hard. I understand what they're looking at, but some of it has to go back. Okay, you don't need $1 billion every single year. How much can you pile up in the backyard before your money looks like shit? You know what I'm saying? So what are you going to put? All the gold in the backyard? Do you know what happens in this world? When everybody has all the gold, nobody needs the gold anymore. They find something else. So if you destroy and you take away over a certain limit, what you have will become worthless. You'll be the only one capable of being able to use it. Eventually, the system falls unless you kill everybody. That would be insane. What an insane world we live in. People, because they want to control and have everything, and they kill people. That is so insane. That is deranged. Oh my God, that is insane. Like I said, for the new people that into the new law, we have to come out with a bracelet. Very important, that bracelet. Do you know why? Because that bracelet, okay, will not only save you money, but it'll keep you out of trouble, because people that are in trouble, that get in trouble wearing that bracelet, all the bars would have to have the machine. If you don't put your bracelet in, okay, they won't let you in. Hey, I don't have a bracelet. Oh, go in anyways. Only those with a bracelet. They're detectable. What did he want to build? He wanted to build a berg? He wanted to build an iceberg? You're damn right. You know what that means, eh? Build a berg, Titanic, iceberg. Titanic was a plan. It wasn't actually a big berg, it was a small berg, and not a small berg at all. But they planned it all the time. They made it weak in the front. That's why they didn't christen her. Because if you christen her, you got to test her. How can you christen something you don't test? It's not like getting married. You have to test her just a little bit before. A little taste. Taste of luck for the future. So they don't christen the Titanic. It's just something is so wrong. And again, this time it wasn't for money. Now it was for the life. So now you know. Anyways, okay, that's the end of this. Yeah, man. Those who are out there in the streets, I'm not with you. Okay, I have another role in this world to take care of. If I was out there, I have sort of that tendency to be the first one spotted. And I don't know why. I'm such a quiet guy. I'm a quiet. MrTacpans, wake up. He's getting ready for bed. You know how I know? I'm getting tired. He always goes to bed before me. And he waits. He says, come to bed, come to bed. And he says, you're running out of things to say. I says, no. I says, while you're there sleeping, you're transferring me all that energy. He goes, oh, yeah. And I go to bed and I get the horror test because I'm left in space. Anyways, let's get cracking. This is one little design I always did like. See this and this? They go down. You see this one in the middle here? This tilts all the way till it hits the round spot over here. You see this bubble here? It can tilt right to this bubble. And then this one can tilt back to that bubble. But that's it. This goes around this way after. If you're supposed to actually put it this way, it's a pyramid. I just rebuilt the pyramid. And then I built a little monkey out of it. Okay, that's enough for today. Raphael, 7286. I looked that up. You know, you got to remember something. Let's start everything off with an egg. Instead of saying 7286, just let's say 70 and 80. That's Omega 5600. What does that mean? Omega 5600. Anyways, plus 70 plus 80 is 150. That makes 7,100. That's the queen of the eggs. Now, we're going to go on to the other side. On both sides, we're going to use the 2 and the 6. Level 2. Man of 6. 2, 2, 2. We don't get the other one. Our heaven is deleted. Our heaven is deleted. We go to the bathroom and we delete the heavenly gestures of the day. Anyways, I always have a hard time leaving. I have a hard time leaving, okay? Oh, I'm home. Oh, I'm home. I don't have to leave. Hey, Edith, bring me a pineapple. You know what I was looking at the other day? The angles of the designs in the pineapple, they look like our brains. I mean, come on, the pineal gland, the pineapple with the points on the top, growing up on a tree in Hawaii. Well, it grows in other places, of course, but, you know, God wanted us to know certain things, so he wanted us to say, Yeshua, creation of one, Raphael 7286. In the constellation of Pegasus. This is Saturday. This is Friday night. Oh, no. Is it really Friday night? Oh, Lord, please give me a good weekend. Oh, my God. I'm starting off a little low. I don't want to leave my public. I shouldn't go. There's things I haven't said, things they do not know. I haven't shown them up and given them a good show. What would you say? What would you say, MrTacpans? Are you going to get up or what? Don't talk back to me. What? What did you say to the people? Did you hear what he said to you? I can't believe you said that. Why did you say that to them? Oh, you know what he just told me? He says, look at my shirt. The 86 could be a 98, and that's a 49. And 49 is an M&M. The 49 means the two heavens. You know why? Because there's two 49s in there. That's why. Two 49s, 2, 4, and 9. 2, 4, and 9 is M&M. M&M is 26 and 2 and 6. This is who we are. We are 2 and 6, 8 in this world. You see, the other world is 9, right? It's 5, 3, 1 that makes 9. It's 7 and 2 that makes 9. But in this world, it's 2 and 6. Anyways, is it again? Did you hear what he said to you? Why don't you say something to him? You can't give everybody a kiss, and you can't love them all. Oh, I misunderstood you. You're hoping they all have a good weekend? You're wishing them the best? You know, I must be tired. Anyways, MrTacpans, you want to say okay? Did you hear him? Neither did I. In fact,